152. That's a 34-pound weight pull, and the reach, 82 inches. All right, how about Mike White? There he is. Handsome, good-looking guy. He's an actor from time to time. Beat Buster Douglas, one of his big wins back in '83, but around a long time. A bit of an enigma, Al Bernstein, a man that size with that much weight who gets into the ring and acquits himself quite well. He's had a number of fights. He doesn't have a big punch.
No, he's really a boxer, much more of a boxer. And it's almost as if it's a reaction to what people expect. He said, you know, people expect you when you're big to be a puncher. He said, I like to show him I can box. And he is a boxer. He's not a huge puncher. But I saw him against Michael Moore, go 10 rounds with Moore, which had been down in the fight, but got up to go 10, lost the decision. But his last fight out was knocked out in 2 rounds by Alex Garcia. That's what he wants to avoid, getting nailed with something big by Gonzalez, especially early time, because Gonzalez tends to fade in fights as they go on. So White will want to take this the distance if possible.
As our telecast started tonight, we showed you an item out of White's repertoire, out of Gonzalez's repertoire, a right hand that just thundered into the jaw of his opponent. Down he went, the opponent that is. Mike White comes into the ring, and that is a very big man. Here's Jorge Gonzalez, and the size of White has the crowd here at the Hilton Center going ooh and ah, and White comes in. I guess it's tough for a heavyweight to get any real recognition in Cuba. What with Theophile Stevenson? Look at that, 538 pounds.
And I'll tell you what, I think in the fashion department so far, Jorge Gonzalez might be a step above Paez.
Yes. Well, Paez was a bit subdued except for the social message across the back of his haircut. We saw the back of Gonzalez's haircut a few moments ago, and there's no social message there at all.
Not even a fashion message.
No. 10-point must system, 3 knockdown rule in effect here in Nevada. No standing 8 count. Saved by the bell only in the last round, and only the referee can stop the fight. The judges, Dave Moretti, Cindy Barton, and Patricia Jarman. And the fighters are climbing into the ring. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is up there, and as soon as the fighters get in, why, Jimmy will handle the introductions. All right, here's the famed ring announcer. Jimmy, if you will, please.
Well, fans, here we go. This next bout coming your way is once again a featured attraction. It is scheduled 10 rounds of boxing. This time we move up in weight to the big men of the sport, heavyweights in action. Presenting to you the judges as appointed for this bout, Dave Moretti, Cindy Barton, and Patricia Jarman. Introducing the referee in charge of this bout, Toby Gibson. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing red trunks. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Guanabacoa, Cuba. He weighed in at 252 pounds with an unblemished record of 13 wins, no losses, 12 wins by way of knockout. Introducing the undefeated Jorge Luis Gonzalez. And his opponent across the ring. On my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 10-round heavyweight bout. He's wearing white trunks with black trim and fighting out of Houston, Texas. He weighed in tonight at 286 pounds. His record includes 27 victories, 12 losses, and 1 draw, with 19 wins by way of knockout. Introducing Mike the Giant White. Once again, here's your referee in charge, Toby Gibson.
Over here, let's go, come on. You're in there just somewhere, Jimmy? Okay, I want the Spanish speaker. You know Spanish? Yeah, I want to tell both of them right now, I want this to be the cleanest fight.
Quiere que esta pelea sea limpia.
Obey my commands at all times.
Obedece tus reconocimientos, tus reglas.
I want clean boxing and no wrestling.
Quiere un boxeo limpio, no luchando.
Undo his robe. I want to look the height of his trunks.
Toby Gibson.
Come on, let's go, let's go.
talking to the two men. Doesn't seem much. There's a whole lot of stirring going on out there, Al Bernstein.
Yeah, it's almost as if they don't want to get away from stirring. A lot of talking, too. A lot of talking. Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Back here, corner.
Talking a lot of trash at one another. Now, Gonzalez, though he is 6'6", maybe 6'7", appeared to be a foot shorter than Mike White. Maybe our camera angle gave you that impression. White really is big. He looks right down at the top of the head of Jorge Gonzalez. And, you know, at 6'10" and a half, 280-some pounds, the man looks like he could be playing center for the Lakers or the Clippers or somebody.
And, in fact, he did play college basketball at Eastern Kentucky. And but what did he like to do when he played basketball?
Played guard.
Yeah, wanted to bring the ball up. You know that from all your basketball. Isn't that what all the big guys want to do? They want to take it outside and shoot. He said, I want to do things that people don't expect me to do. That's part of the reason why he's more of a boxer. Now, I'll tell you, Jorge Gonzalez, I guarantee you, he will see something in this fight that he's not yet seen. He'll see a jab in his face constantly, and he's going to see a guy who ties him up better than anybody he has faced.
That's White in the white trunks trimmed in black, and Gonzalez in the black trunks trimmed in red. Isn't it always the way? The Shakespearean actor who, an overhand right that kind of jarred White just a little bit, and Gonzalez has got a good right. The Shakespearean actor who wants to do stand-up comedy, the comedian who wants to do Hamlet. It's always the way.
And for Mike White, one thing he cannot afford in this bout is to get involved in a slugging contest with Gonzalez. He wants to set the tempo. He's trying to do a boxing jab, keep Gonzalez at bay, not get hit with the overhand right, which he's been hit with once or twice.
Go box it out here. With the wrestling channel, let's go box.
Kevin Gibson says we're out here to box, man, not wrestle.
And I tell you, Mike White does want to hold on a little on the inside. Oh, nice right by Gonzalez. So he's getting that punch in.
And he's got a good right hand. Gonzalez is undefeated. 12 of his 13 wins have come via the knockout route. Where would you put Gonzalez, providing he looks good here tonight, Al? Is he... where would you put him? Is he a guy that tune-up for the guy who's going to win a fight for the title or something?
Well, I think if he could beat Mike White really convincingly, like Garcia, for instance, knocked Mike White out in 2 rounds, and he's considered something contender, it would vault Gonzalez up. But I think Jorge Gonzalez is still 3 or 4 fights away from being a top 10 heavyweight. He's got to prove, for instance, that he can go a ways to fight. I mean, he has never been past 8 rounds.
And suddenly White swings to the southpaw style. Both men a bit wary of each other, as you might imagine. You get 2 guys this size. You approach each other with some trepidation. White kind of slapping.
Yeah, that's been his problem throughout his career. And he fights a much shorter man. He brings his punches up and they have more power. But in this case, he's got to throw him a lot straighter at Gonzalez, and that's even making it worse for the slapping.
Gonzalez with a right hand that misses rather badly, and that right hand into the ribs, just under the left arm. We're in the first round. It's 10. Still to come, of course, the golden boy from Barcelona, Oscar De La Hoya, and the unification. Mike White is 6'10" and a half. He fights there with his back to you. At 6'6" or 6'7" is Jorge Gonzalez, Cuban expatriate.
We mentioned that he beat both Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis in the same tournament, in the Pan Am Games in 1987. So he had a storied amateur career. That's why some have been surprised, truthfully, that he has been as slow to develop as he has as a professional.
Of course, athletes are athletes, Al Bernstein, and some athletes never get any better than a certain level.
It's true.
And whatever level that comes to be can happen at any age. It can happen at 20, it can happen at 18, it can happen at 19 with football and basketball players, track people. So great amateur career does not necessarily mean you're going to go on and be a great professional, as Bowe and Lewis have become. So it is a strange
And also, Gonzalez's development got kind of arrested at a certain age also, because after Stevenson, there was only a short period where he was the top dog, and then Savone came on the picture. So he didn't really get pushed in the Cuban program as much as he would have liked, and maybe didn't get as much attention. Now, in this round, Gonzalez is setting down on his punches, Tom, better than I've seen him in recent fights.
I get the feeling that Gonzalez has decided White can't hurt me, and White is not punching. He is slapping or pawing with the left hand, or he really is not throwing many punches and seldom answers the 2 or 3 that I would throw, as such is the case right now. I think Gonzalez has got a world of confidence all of a sudden here after the first round as they fight here in the closing minute of round number 2.
Yeah, I think he's starting to hurt White. He's starting to hurt White to the body.
Oh, that right hand and a left and another right, all unanswered by White. He misses with the right hand and paws with a lead right, and then they fall into a clinch.
He's throwing good combinations, Jorge Gonzalez. Better than I've seen him throw in recent fights, but he leaves himself wide open. Do you see that right hand in the body?
Yeah.
Against a better heavyweight and a good counter-punching heavyweight with some power, Jorge Gonzalez would have a problem. Look how he leaves those hands so low after he throws punches.
He'd have been wearing a left hand and a right behind it from a first-rate heavyweight. No question about it. Wild right hand lead by Gonzalez as we come to the end of round 2. Ramon Felix is being taken to the hospital. There he is. And we hope it is just a precautionary measure. Ruben, can you tell us anything about that?
Absolutely right, Tommy. Exactly what you said. It's all precautionary. They're going to just take him to the hospital for observation. Nothing more than that. Back to you, Tom.
We're happy to hear that. We're sorry to see him on the gurney and headed for the local hospital, but it is comforting to know that it is a precautionary measure and better to be safe than sorry. Felix, of course, was a knockout victim of Jorge Paez in the 8th round of about just concluded.
And probably that scene tells you as much as you need to know about some of the changes in boxing. I doubt that would have happened 15 years ago in boxing. They wouldn't have thought of taking him to a hospital to take a look at him. He would have just been left to his own devices.
Al, I did a fight one night when a young man from Wales was beaten by Lupe Pintor and died literally in the ring. And it was the longest time before they could even get an ambulance there to take the man to California Hospital.
What a difference. Well, thank goodness they have learned.
Hopefully. It gets better for the fighters, hopefully.
Gonzalez coming out with an overhand right here in this round, and that is his ticket in this fight. Though we've seen a better left hook from him than in the past. This is certainly a better performance by Gonzalez than he's had in some others. I think he's in better shape. I think he's listening to his trainers a little bit more. That was an area that's a lot of concern. But he's in against a man who is not doing much in terms of counterpunching. Mike White, this is not one of his better performances so far.
No, and in fact, White switches to the southpaw stance as we look up at these two giants here at Hilton Center. We're at the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel. I'm Tom Kelly along with Al Bernstein. It's a pleasure to have you with us, and I hope wherever you are that you are enjoying our star-studded attraction here tonight. Jorge Paez successful in his effort to knock the TKO knockout winner over Ramon Felix. Still to come, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, and of course the unification bout between Carvajal and Gonzalez. The crowd is not really tuned in to the heavyweight display put on here by White and Jorge Gonzalez. As Al Bernstein, sitting next to me at ringside, has said, why White is offering token resistance and very little offense, while Gonzalez being cautioned a moment there by Toby Gibson, has really provided most of the action in the fight. Heavyweights have a tendency from time to time to waltz you around for 7 or 8 rounds, don't they?
It's a crapshoot with heavyweights, Tom. As you know, you may get two guys with the styles that will make it a good fight, and you may get them together, and it isn't. And in this case, Gonzalez doing his best to make it a good fight. Part of the problem with White is, I saw him fight Dickie Ryan, a shorter fighter, and it was a pretty interesting fight because when White can come up with his punches, he throws them with some authority. When he has has to come down, when he has to come straight ahead against the big fighter, he has trouble throwing those punches and he slaps, and that's part of the reason why there's been so little good offense from him.
He swings to the southpaw style and pays for it. First of all, a left hook and then an overhand right by Gonzalez, both of which scored. These are awfully big men. White is 6'10 and a half and 280 plus pounds, and Gonzalez is 6'6", maybe 6'7", and 262 pounds.
And the worst part of this is, as we go on in this fight, I almost hate to say this, Gonzalez will probably do less offensively because it's been his history, and if he does less offensively, we're really in trouble.
Well, that's the end of the third round. So far, it has been Gonzalez. All right, De La Hoya, the golden boy from Barcelona by way of East L.A., and Ruben Castillo was with him. Let's go back to the dressing room and bring in Ruben.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Oscar, you're fighting Jeff Mayweather in a few minutes. 23 wins, 2 losses. That's got to be the toughest fight up to this point. What are your thoughts, and how are you going to fight him?
Well, I believe it is my toughest fight until this point. And, he's got a good record, 23 wins with 2 losses, 2 draws, and he's a nice, experienced fighter, and he runs a lot. He's a slick boxer, and I'm going to just go in and work the body, cut off the ring, and kind of get him tired for the later rounds.
How do you think he's going to fight you?
He'll be moving around, dancing around, using his jab a lot, trying to escape, trying not to get maybe hit a lot, and it's going to be a really good fight.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you. Let's go back to Tom Kelly.
Thank you, Ruben. Oscar De La Hoya. That is not just a casual sobriquet, golden boy. This is a very nice young man.
He is a good guy. I was waiting for you to use that word, sobriquet.
Well, I didn't want to disappoint
That's your favorite word, and I love it. Yeah, he
is a great kid.
He is a golden boy, you know, and as you look at the numbers, White doing very poorly in percentage landed. A warning to Gonzalez, and he just can't believe Toby Gibson would dare to warn him about that, holding behind the head.
Well, and he almost did it again.
De La Hoya with a great future in boxing, and Jorge Gonzalez knows that his future is now at 28 years of age. He's got to make things happen in the heavyweight division in the next year or so. And you're right, Tom, when you say that Gonzalez really feels that White is just not going to be able to give him anything power-wise that's going to hurt him, so he can walk right in.
He's done that with some success. He has prompted most of the action. He has hit the better punches, and he has dominated this fight, such as it is. To get back to De La Hoya, he is, and it's an overworked phrase to be sure, he is a true role model. This kid is so first-rate, it almost scares you, really. His family is with him 100%. He's a clean-cut kid, handsome, press agent's dream. When you see him in the ring, he's a magnificently schooled fighter for being a young professional, but he had a great amateur career. And when you see him a bit later, he's going to please you, I'm sure.
Mix it up. Both of us. This fight stinks. Go.
Every time you see a couple of guys like this, and I don't mean to denigrate the abilities or talents of either Gonzalez or White. Whoops. That overhand right, and White nearly went to the deck. There's another one. Gonzalez has got him hurt. Gibson is ready to stop it, and there's a left. Down goes White, and I don't think... He's up at 5, 6, 7...
Mike, give me a glove.
I think Mike White is hurt, and I'm not sure he wants to continue.
Get out of that one.
Good call by Toby Gibson.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something about what Toby Gibson did. And it's what the referee didn't do in the Michael Dokes-Riddick bullfight and why he got in trouble for it. He had plenty of time to take a look at Mike White and decide whether to stop it. And you better be looking at a fighter when you stop the fight. And Toby Gibson was doing that, and that's why it was an appropriate call for this man.
We welcome you as Forum Boxing Incorporated, along with Budweiser, the king of beers, present the main event of the evening. Introducing the big men of boxing, heavyweights, featured in this 10-round special attraction. This bout is sanctioned by the...
This is the Advantage Network.
Westland, commissioners in attendance, Jerry Nathanson and Raul Silva, and the Assistant Chief Inspector at ringside, Dale Ashley. All right, fans, here we go. This is it, our main event, 10 rounds of boxing, introducing heavyweights in the ring. Presenting to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with